All right, so we're going to start out with synthetic division since we're skipping long division. So number 12, 4x squared minus 13x minus 5 divided by x minus 2. So synthetic division, okay, when we did this, I said it's really important that it's x minus k form. So what I'm going to do, I take the number, not the sign, and I put it out here and I box it. Then I copy down the numbers. If anything's missing, okay, these get copied with their signs. If anything's missing, we put a 0. I don't have anything missing this time. So 4, negative 13, negative 5. And then same process that we had with the synthetic substitution. Bring down the 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Negative 13 plus 8 is negative 5. Negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. Negative 10 minus 5 is negative 15. So before, that was our answer, but now we've got to write it in this form. Okay, these drop a variable every time. So these were originally x squared, x, and constant. Okay, but now this is an x term, and this is a constant term. And then this is our remainder. So, this gives us 4x minus 5 minus 15 over x minus 2. Yep. All right, 16. X cubed minus 4x plus 6 divided by x plus 3. Okay, so what do we notice about this?
It's x plus.
Okay, it's x plus 3 instead of x minus 3. That means that the value that's going out front is going to be negative 3. Because I would need to make this x minus negative 3. Okay, and so then the negative 3 would be getting copied down. So the way that I like to think about it with synthetic is it's always the opposite sign of whatever's here. So if it's negative to start with, okay, quote unquote, then you put the positive value out front. If it's positive, then it's negative that goes out in the box. So if that kind of helps you remember it, then. Yeah. So that's going out there. What else do we notice about this? There's one more thing that we should notice.
There's no squared.
There's no squared term, so I'm going to put a 0 in, okay? So the x cubed term, obviously there's an imaginary 1 out front, so we copy down a 1. X squared is gone, so I put a 0. Then I have x, so that's negative 4. And then lastly, 6. All right, so somebody tell me what to do with this part now.
Bring down the 1. Multiply negative 3.
Plus 0 is negative 3. Times negative 3 is 9. Minus 4 is 5. Times negative 3 is negative 15. Plus 6 is negative 9.
So this was an x cubed term, so it's now going to be x squared. So it's going to be x squared minus 3x plus 5 minus 9 over x plus 3. Nothing too crazy, right?
Does it get worse?
No, not really. It'll get a little bit different, but it won't get worse. All right, 18, one more of this type. X to the fourth plus 4x cubed plus 16x minus 35 divided by x plus 5.
It's plus and we skip x squared.
Okay, so what do I need to put down here to do this problem then?
Negative 5.
Negative 5. This is a little clearer, hopefully. Y'all can tell me what to put whenever you got it.
I got it. That's the remaining.
Okay, I'm waiting on somebody to tell me what to fill in here.
Oh.
One,
Oh.
4, 0, 16, -35.
All right. Well, since you did it, just tell me what I need to write where.
1, -5, -1, 5, 5, -9, 45.
All right, so then final answer is
X cubed plus minus x squared
Plus 5x. Minus 9. Minus 10.
plus. It's positive.
Oh, okay.
10 over x plus 5.
I don't know.
Beautiful.
I don't know where we were getting this then.
I was like, weird.
All right, next one's given the polynomial f of x and a factor of f of x, factor f of x completely. Now, kind of sounds like it's going to be miserable, but it's actually pretty easy.
I
So.
thought you were gonna be like, it actually is pretty good.
Nah, it's actually really, really bad. F of x equals x cubed plus 3x squared plus 5x minus 12. And we're told that the factor is x plus 4. So we're still going to use synthetic division to do this. Okay, we're starting with x cubed. Okay, we don't know how to factor this without some assistance, so we're going to use the assistance that they gave us. They're telling us that this is a factor. So that means that I write -4. And then I copy down. Okay, still if something's missing, we put a 0, but we're good. So 1, 6, 5, -12. All right, then walk me through it.
Okay, so you bring down the 1, then -4, 2, plus this is 2, times -4 is -8.
I got 0 too.
What's 0?
That
Yeah.
verifies that this is a factor.
Oh, I was like, what are you
So
talking about?
we're done.
Nope.
No, we're not done.
Factor completely.
Okay.
Okay? When you get a 0 out at the end, that verifies that whatever they told you was a factor was actually a factor.
So what happens if you don't
So
get
they would
0?
lie to you
So then
somehow?
you have to say like
You have a
non-factor?
remainder, yeah. Because not so much in Algebra 2, but in the pre-cal book, it'll ask you to verify that it's a factor. So sometimes you'll say this is not a factor.
And then that would be the end.
Mhm.
Of the
So
video.
now we're left with what?
X cubed.
I mean squared.
2x.
2x minus 3.
Okay, and this is all being multiplied by that x plus 4.
Yeah.
But is this factored completely?
it
You can
again.
still take an X out, right?
Okay, well, how do
No,
I
you
factor
can't.
this?
What?
What does this factor into?
Oh.
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 Oh, the
It would be
the 3 you can
Negative 1 and 3.
negative.
Okay, so x plus 3, x minus 1, x plus 4.
Yeah.
do the 1 because you can't have a negative.
And if you were just so ambitious, you could take this and you could put a negative 3 up here to start with, and you could run it again and it should come out to be 0, but you really don't need to if you know how to factor.
Well, you can take what and do that?
We could verify with either of these two that we just got that they give you 0.
I'm good.
So, but you don't really need to. When we have a problem that goes out like x to the 5th, we're going to keep repeating this process till we get down to something that we can factor by hand.
Okay.
Good times.
I don't know if this book gives you any like that. I don't really think they do, but pre-cal will. 24. F of x equals x cubed plus 18x squared plus 95x plus 150. X plus 10 is the factor.
It always sounds so bad.
But they're really not, though.
They're not that
It
bad.
sounds bad.
Yeah, they sound like they're going to be a little crazy, but yeah.
Okay,
So
We do
you
the thing.
put negative 10 out to the left.
It's in
Um,
0.
Yeah, you're not missing any terms. So just fill it in. 1, 18, 95.
Cool, let's verify.
there
Alright.
So you can verify it.
Okay. I got it. So it would be x squared plus 8x
Like, once I get to the end, I
Plus
don't know how to factor it from there.
times the x plus
I forgot.
Forgot
I
how
did
to
that
factor.
by hand. Yeah, I forgot. I really did.
You're looking for factors of 15 that add up to equal 8.
5 and 3.
5 and 3, so it's just going to be, because there's nothing in front of here. If there was a number in front of here, we'd have to do it a little different, but these ones aren't going to have that. So x plus 5 times x plus 3 times x plus 10.
Done.
People are still coughing.
Well,
See, as soon as I say there's not going to be a number out front, the next one's going to have a number out front. But it's fine. It's fine.
It's
28. F of x equals 3x cubed minus 2x squared minus 61x minus 20. X minus 5 is the factor.
That's not bad. So, we put the positive 5 in the bottom. And then we do the numbers thing.
That was very helpful, Josh.
Think I know what he wants me to do.
Exactly. That's my mind.
Mhm.
75? Is it 75? 3 times 5 is 15. 65? 12
Yes,
times 5
it
is.
is 60.
Oh. 12 times 5 is 60.
Yeah.
It's been a long week. It's okay. Alright, positive 4.
Verify.
Get verified,
also,
yo.
the signs from, like, the top, does it carry down?
These ones do. This one's always opposite. So then I now have 3x squared plus 13x plus 4. And this is all technically getting multiplied by the x minus 5. I just like to write this down here so I don't forget to go back and like put it on there at the end. But you don't have to write it until the very end, technically.
Okay, so
12 and 1.
So now we need arch method. So 3 times 4 factors that add up to give you 13. So you're saying 12 and 1. So 3x squared plus, doesn't really matter, 12x plus x plus 4. And I'm just going to draw an arrow to bring that down. So factor by grouping, what do I have?
3x plus
3x times x plus
So the
4.
answer.
And then take out the 1 and do the x plus 4.
So now because these two are the same, I only have to copy it down once, and then I copy down the stuff that's outside. So 3x plus 1 times x plus 4, and then I'm bringing down my x minus 5.
Sorry, I was trying to do the answer.
Not awful, right?
Yeah, not bad.
Great. Next one's given the polynomial function f and a 0 of f, find the other zeros.
What is that?
All right, so we only have 2 problems left. We're almost done. F of x equals 4x cubed minus 25x squared minus 154x plus 40. And the 0 that we're given is 10. So once you write this, I'm going to back it up to the last problem and show you what it means that we have a 0 now. Alright, so when I have this, I'm told that this is a factor. If I don't want to know what the 0 is, I take this and I set it equal to 0, and then I solve for x. So x would be equal to 5. This would be a 0. Okay? Now, down here, in the next one, I'm told what my 0 is. This means that x is equal to 10. So my factor would be what?
X minus 10.
X minus 10, which is equal to 0. Okay. Now, that I know is supposed to be a factor. You don't necessarily have to write that step, but I like to do it because then, one, I know what one of my factors is. Now, I'm trying to find the other 2 zeros, but I'm now going to use synthetic, just like I've been doing, to solve it. Since you're used to it being in this form, now you know that what goes out here in the box. 10. Or you know that whatever 0 you start with, you copy it down. But just so you don't get confused about trying to change the sign and all of that, I think it's easier to see it in this form so that you just keep it the same the whole time. But totally up to you. So I'm going to run it with 10 there, so then copy down all your numbers. 4, negative 25, negative 154, 40. We hope. We're told it's a 0, so we're hoping it's going to come out to be 0. Great. So that also helped reduce it down so that now I can follow the same process as before and find my other factors. The only difference is now when you get your answer like this, okay, you set it equal to 0. It's the only difference. You set your final answer equal to 0 and you get your different values. So this leaves me with, what is this, 4x squared plus 15x minus 4. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my x minus 10 one just so it's there. All right, so what does this factor into? I've got negative 16 factors that give me 15.
16.
So 4x squared plus 16x minus 4. Factor by grouping. What do I take out?
4x.
And that leaves me with
X plus 4.
x plus 4.
And then take out the -1.
So those are the same. So I have now 4x minus 1 times x plus 4 times x minus 10. Okay, we've already got that 10 is a 0. I'm finding the other two zeros. So I set 4x minus 1 equal to 0 and x plus 4 equal to 0. So what is x equal to for both of those?
One, four.
1, 4, and -4.
So these are my other two zeros. It's just like all builds. All right, we'll do one more of those ones just to make sure we're good. And then we'll call it a day. And tomorrow you'll have time to work on these problems. Not that there's that many of them, but probably have like the first 30 minutes to work on them because you should be able to finish them in that amount of time. And then we'll probably do the notes for the next section, I think. So that way we have an extra day in there, kind of a cushion to get ready and stuff. And just while I'm thinking about it, because I will forget, if you have all your tests and quizzes from this semester, bring them with you next Wednesday. Yeah, next Wednesday. 5 points on your exam if you have them all. You can copy them from somebody else. No, but you could look on GradeLink and find them all. Figure out how many there are. If I get a chance, I can go through and I can pull what they all should be so that you would know. But it's okay to copy them from somebody else if they don't mind you copying theirs so that you have them. You just have to have all of them in your possession. And don't worry, I will give you a unit circle if that's a concern that you have. But I will tell you when you get to calculus, you just have to know the unit circle. They don't give you one on the AP exam.
I literally, my phone is like being
Alright, so x equals -4. Or x plus 4 equals 0, so that's a factor. So what am I putting out front?
4.
-4. 3, 34, 72, -64. These ones have been nice. They haven't like left out terms.
What?
I said these ones have been nice. They haven't like left out a term.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-cal book's not that nice.
Yeah.
It'll be like x to the 5th, x, constant, to fill in a bunch of zeros. There was a problem that they had in their book that was like x to the 11th, and then it went to x, and then it went to a constant. So it was missing 10 through like
So many
squared.
zeros.
It was awful.
That's hilarious.
That's not.
I mean, it was just a whole bunch of zeros getting plugged in, so it was really annoying, but it's like, oh well.
That's
It
not.
won't be hilarious when we do it.
No.
Hilarious. What?
It's okay. I just.
Oh.
I don't know. I just subtracted it wrong.
That's easy. Let's see. 16 times 3
Oh.
is
Yeah, it's 34 minus 12. It's not 12.
48.
That's where I went wrong.
48.
48 that equals
What factors add up to 22? And something's got to be negative, because that's a negative.
Don't.
Oh, no.
No, nothing else. 22.
We'll start running different options. 30 times 2 is 6. 2 times 2 is 8. 8 and 6. That doesn't work, okay? 3 times 2 times 2, so that's 6 and 12. 12 and 4. Not working. Let's try something else. Let's try another one. 3 times 2 is 6, times 2 is 12, times 2 is 24, and 2, we found it. Positive 24, negative 2.
We could have made that easier if we just did 48 and 22. Wouldn't have to go through all.
Yeah, but then I had to know what 3 times 16 was. When I didn't need to, I could have just broken it down.
Yeah, and that's just.
For the record, I didn't need to go through all those options, but I've also been doing this way longer than you have. Good 10, 11 years, something like that. So there are still some of them that I'm like, there was one in Algebra 1 one day. I could not for the life of me figure out what the two factors were supposed to be. It's supposed to be like 15 and 7, but I could not figure out. It was something really crazy, and I was like, really? They were like, if you couldn't figure it out, how'd you expect us to figure it out? I was like, well, I got it eventually, didn't I?
You gotta be like, yeah, I'm coming from like calculus, so I'm not used to like the easy stuff, okay?
We don't really factor in calculus, thinking about it.
So you just like forget how to do the simple
Pretty
stuff.
much. Oh, after college, it was bad. Alright, so then you set each piece equal to 0. Okay, we already had the negative 4 one, so I don't need to do that. So I just need to do 3x minus 2 equals 0. X plus 8 equals 0. So then x
equals 2/3 and x equals -8.
So those are your other two zeros.
That took too long.
It didn't take that long.
It's easy, but it's.
It didn't take that long. It would have taken a lot less time if I didn't put 34 minus 12 equal 12. So
That is.
there was an issue there.
Alright, so tomorrow you'll have the first 30 minutes. Oh, well, there's not that many, actually. There's not that many notes for the next section. Yeah, you'll have the first 30 minutes tomorrow to do that. It's 6 problems. It really shouldn't take you that long. So they'll be due at the end of class tomorrow, though, so. But first 30 minutes will be for you to do them. So 5 minutes a problem. I think you got it.